Hello students, this is your English lesson. In this lesson, we are going to read unit number 9, The Wolf Children 1 from Oxford Modern English 6. Let's get started. First of all, words to know. Flee, run away, hideous, extremely ugly or unpleasant. Lair, a wild animal's resting place. Mound, a raised mass of earth specially created for purposes of defense or burial. Superstitious, excessive belief in the supernatural, magical effects of a particular action. Now read the story. 6 men sat on a wooden hunting platform. The platform had been hastily built during the heat of the day. Now, in the gathering twilight, the men knew that their long wait would soon be over. Below them, some 30 meters away, stood a giant ant hill. It was on this that the men's attention was focused. One of the men licked his lips nervously. The ant hill he knew had long ago been abandoned by ants. Now it was simply a hollow shell-like cave. Inside it there lived jungle demons. Sunset was time for the demons to appear. It was October 9th, 1920. Everyone in the village knew about the jungle demons. They had heard their howls and their strange yelping cries. Several people had actually seen the demons. They were in appearance half human, half animal. The superstitious would no longer venture into the forest for fear of them. The forest was bathed in a deep red glow from the setting sun. The first of the large fruit bats flapped past at the waiting men. Suddenly there was a movement in the narrow entrance of the ant hill. The men on the platform stiffened. One of them drew in his breath sharply while another tightened his grip on the stock of his rifle. Something was coming out of the ant hill. It was a fully grown wolf. Behind it came a second wolf and then 2 small cubs. Then something else emerged. It was a demon, just as the villagers had said, half human and half animal. The demon was followed by a second monster, much smaller than the first. Both of the creatures had matted hair which covered their faces, and both walked on all fours. They looked around cautiously before bounding after the wolves. The 6 men reacted in different ways. 2 aimed their rifles at the strange creatures. One quickly signaled them not to shoot. Then he began to write in his notebook. One man, too frightened to look, buried his face in his hands. The rest stared in disbelief. So the stories were true. They had seen the monsters for themselves. The man with the notebook was Mr. Singh. He had listened to the tales and chatter about demons and had been determined to prove that the stories were nonsense. The man with the notebook was Mr. Singh. He had listened to the tales and chatter about demons and had been determined to prove that the stories were nonsense. Even so, it had taken a good deal of persuasion to find men who would take him to the demons' lair and wait with him while he observed them for himself. Back at the village, Mr. Singh ignored the excited talk of his 5 companions and read through the notes he had scribbled at the time. The creatures were hideous beings, he had written. Both of them ran on all fours. Of one he had put hand, foot and body like a human being, but the head was a big ball of something covering the shoulders. He was convinced, however, that the creatures were not demons. What he felt sure he had seen were two children about 4 or 5 years old. From the way the children had moved, Mr. Singh believed that they had been living with the wolves for a long time. He had no doubt about what he should do next. He must rescue them. He didn't even consider leaving them to go on living as wild animals. The next day he tried to form a rescue party from among the men of the village. None of them would help him capture the wolf children. They still believed that the creatures were evil spirits. Mr. Singh was forced to seek help from another village 7 miles away. A week later, the hunting party advanced on the lair. As they neared the anthill, they spread out in a circle. They moved cautiously, beating the ground in front of them. The advance frightened many smaller animals into the open, but no wolves appeared. Mr. Singh moved towards the mound. He ordered two men to start digging at the entrance. They began to hug the ground nervously. Mr. Singh assured them there were no demons, but this was little comfort. They knew well enough that there were wolves inside. At any moment, they expected an angry wolf to emerge. Then a wolf did spring out of the lair. The digger jumped back as it ran off into the thick undergrowth. Nobody tried to stop its escape. In fact, some of the men, frightened at the sudden appearance of the animal, began to run away. Mr. Singh began to shout at the fleeing men, but stopped as another wolf emerged. This was the she-wolf, courageously trying to defend her young. She arched her back and bared her teeth, but before Mr. Singh could give any order, some of the men shoot several arrows at her. Mr. Singh watched the animal roll over in agony. He felt bitter and angry with himself. He had not intended to kill any of the wolves. Now he snatched up a spade and dug furiously into the ant hill. His digging revealed a pathetic sight. 4 trembling creatures lay in a ball of fur and hair. The ball was made up of 2 wolf cubs and 2 little girls. Mr. Singh had never seen children like these before. They were almost recognizable as human beings. They snarled and bit his hand as he tried to separate them from the cubs. Now come to the exercises. A. Comprehension. Answer the following questions. A. Why do you think one of the men licked his lips? Answer. One of the men licked his lips because he was nervous and his lips were dry with fright. B. Why does the author say that demons lived in the ant hill? Answer. People knew they were not wolves but did not know what they were, so they called them demons. C. Write down 4 sentences from the first part of the passage which tell you that it is evening. Answer. Now in the gathering twilight, sunset was time for the demons to appear. The forest was bathed in a deep red glow from the setting sun. The first of the large fruit bats flapped past the waiting men. D. How do we know that Mr. Singh kept a diary of some sort? Answer. Mr. Singh made notes, so we know he kept a diary of some sort. E. How did Mr. Singh know that the children had been living with the wolves for a long time? Answer. Mr. Singh knew the children had been living with the wolves for a long time because both ran on all fours. F. Why did the villagers refuse to help? Answer. The villagers refused to help because they believed that evil spirits, not the children, were in the wolves' home. G. Why did the hunting party beat the ground in front of them? Answer. The villagers The hunting party beat the ground to frighten the wolves out of their lair. H. Why did Mr. Singh feel bitter and angry with himself? Answer. Mr. Singh was bitter and angry with himself because the she-wolf had been killed and he had not been able to protect her. The wolf children were likely to have been very frightened when they were dug out of the lair. 2. Explain the italicized words and phrases in your own words. A. It was on this that the man's attention was focused. Answer. Attention was focused. Focused is a word generally used with cameras and taking photographs. When something is in focus, it is clear and detailed. B. The forest was bathed in a deep red glow from the setting sun. Answer. Bathed is used in a metaphoric sense. We generally bathe in water. Here, the whole scene is flooded with light from the setting sun. It is a good word to use in this context as we get a clear picture of what it was like. C. The man on the platform stiffened. Answer. Stiffened. Become apprehensive. Became apprehensive, showing they were scared, ready, alert, and uncomfortable. D. She arched her back and bared her teeth. Answer. Bared her teeth. Showed, revealed all her teeth by pulling back her lips, like an angry animal warning over an enemy. 3. Answer the following questions with reference to context. 1. Quickly signaled them not to shoot. A. Who made the signal? Answer. Mr. Singh. B. Why did the person signal and to whom was he making the signal? Answer. 2 men, part of a group of 5 who agreed to go with Mr. Singh. C. What had occurred just before this? Answer. 2 feral children, demons, and some wolves have come out of the wolves' lair. D. What did the person do after he made the signal? Answer. He wrote in his notebook. B. Working with words. Mr. is an abbreviation for the word Mr. Do you know what these abbreviations stand for? Ape, April, asset, assistant, Ave, avenue, bros, brothers, cert, certificate, des, December, dip, diploma, DOS, dozen, fab, February, Jol, July, month, Monday, professor, sat, Saturday, sock, society, university, mesque, miscellaneous. 2. Use the following words in sentences of your own and say which part of speech they are. A. Cautiously. She peered cautiously over the edge but couldn't see the car. B. Nervously. She laughed nervously and he leaned forward. 3. Actually. Actually, it was how my family always celebrated Christmas. D. Courageously. She courageously shared her very personal struggles in front of the audience. E. Furiously. We used to hear of all the study groups which were furiously at work. Nouns. Supply suitable nouns which can be described by these adjectives. A humid afternoon. B. A mature person. C. A powerful wrestler. D. An adhesive resin. E. An excessive amount. F. An obsolete machine. G. Ancient, an ancient building. H. A spectacular display. I. A defective rifle. Use a relative pronoun to combine these sentences. A. The bus took the children to the cinema which was in the town. B. These are the happy boys whose paintings were displayed in the exhibition. C. This is Asif, who is a good pianist. D. We went to see the patient who had malaria. E. Give me the knife which I bought yesterday. F. Sakina is the girl whom I spoke to you about. 2. Put suitable relative pronouns in the blank spaces below. A. It was the major who led the attack. B. The eggs which we bought yesterday were all bad. C. The boy whose leg was broken left the hospital today. D. This is the kind of table which you ought to make. E. The person whom the police arrested last week left the court in handcuffs. Homophones. Use the following in sentences of your own to show that you know the meaning of both words in each pair. Say the words aloud. There. That's their new dog. There are 30 chairs in the hall. Where? Wear your coat before going to school. Where are you going now? Ran. I gave him free rein to do what he needs to. Ran. She was a popular ruler throughout her reign. Scent. The scent of flower came in at the window. Sent. He was sent to the jail. Fair. His complexion is fair. Fare. What is the fare for this bus? Composition. Do you know how the little girls came to be in the wolf's lair? Write a paragraph or two about what you think might have happened. Here are some questions to help you. Where did the girls live before? What were they called? How old were they? Were they lost in the forest? Were they left there? If they were put in the forest, who left them there? How did the wolves find them? Composition. Once upon a time, there was a happy family who came into the forest for hunting and camping as well. They pitched the tents to take rest. The family had twin baby girls. When the mother and father were out of the camp, the wolves came and carried them into the cave. The wolves were kind to them and brought them up in their way of living. As the time passed by, the girls were not found by their parents. They were 6 years old and learned the ways how wolves behaved. They were called demons. After this, they started to live as wild animals. Thanks for listening. For new videos, don't forget to subscribe my channel. And if you like my videos, please share and like.